We all have the same data set. AI is that same type of nerdy data set, but it's the human interaction part that's likely going to make this a successful long-term relationship.
Welcome to the Physician Sense podcast, a podcast designed specifically for physicians, offering a breakdown of complex financial topics to help you develop your financial IQ, further your financial journey, and improve your well-being. Whether you're a medical student, resident, fellow, or attending physician, you're sure to learn something new that will benefit your journey. And now, your hosts, Chad Chubb and Tyler Olson.
Hey all, I'm Tyler, your co-host, and I'm joined by my other co-host, Chad Chubb. Welcome to Physician Sense. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you as always. I just realized we forgot to do our usual wardrobe change. Makes it more exciting.
Oh, it does. So just so you all know, sometimes we do them back to back. Big shock there. Yeah.
In defense of all of you, Tyler also had an emergency in the middle of our last recording where Tyler had chased someone down the street that was stealing an Amazon package. So I think we both ended up getting more flustered.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're in the same clothes. I'm actually amazed on how good your hair looks, even going through all of that. That's what I'm most proud of you for.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I benefited from it being 15 degrees outside, so it crystallized my hair.
Yeah.
No, today I am excited to talk about AI, your new financial advisor. Not really. We get comments from people who are finance adjacent, especially who are like, big promoters of AI utilization. And frankly, I am. I think that there's a lot of good use cases for AI. We use it. I know a lot of other planners do, and people across all sorts of industries do. But there are some clear limitations that at first might seem like benefits. And this guy, he wrote this: drop your financial advisor, replace them with our artificial intelligence, faster and cheaper. Plus they don't judge you. So you want to buy a Ferrari and you're going to, delay retirement. Who cares? It's up to you, right? Or whatever the judgment call is. Or how much do you spend on going out to eat? I think those are the sort of things that he's imagining or wanting people to imagine, that financial advisors are judging people for how much they spend on certain things that they personally don't. And this resonated with me because it certainly is an issue, right? We have our own biases. The first thing I thought of is real estate for me. Outside of owning my own home, and I've been on buy and sell transactions of real estate several times in my life. And so I know how it all works personally as well as theoretically. And I know that it can be profitable, but I am so anti real estate ownership in my own life. And our clients know it. And I tell them, I'm like, this is just me. I do have to overcome that. And if there's someone who's really interested, they're like, I want to make this a part of my life. This is of interest to me. That's fine. Mm-hmm. And so that sort of judgment, that's not okay. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But there are some things about judging, having good judgment, that you want in a financial planning relationship.
I would like to think of a few things. One, we've already defeated robo-advisors. So humans have won there. That has been well documented now. We were all supposed to be replaced by robo-advisors. They realized that the price points and the lack of emotion and understanding comprehensive, holistic planning doesn't work. I'd also like to point out that our industry has insanely high retention rates. For better or worse, ideally you have a great financial advisor and you always want to be with them. There's probably some advisors that should have lower retention rates. That's another conversation for another day. But we also have very high retention rates, which would lead me to believe that clients are very happy in their situation or are feeling very confident. So my point there being is we can't be that harsh, right? If we were all mean people are like, why the hell am I paying for this? And they'd move on. So there's clearly a sticking point there. But, the emotional tie, the human side of it, I've often said on prospect calls, right? If you go look at 10 great advisors, we all have the same data set. And AI is, again, that same type of nerdy data set. But it's the human interaction part that's likely going to make this a successful long-term relationship. And understanding that, the people skills there. So I could not agree more. I'm glad you said at the start in terms of we use AI for a lot of stuff. AI has been a great tool, and I can only imagine it's going to get better and better. But there's still that human interaction. I even think about accounting, right? Accounting feels like the easiest true replacement from AI. But I still like talking to my accountant and accountants and going through things and having that, conversation in there. Yeah, it's funny because Tyler brought up the topic before the tweet, and then when he said the tweet, I knew what the tweet was immediately. I don't know. I think about even like life coaches. Like, you need someone to hold you accountable. Like, you want someone to hold you accountable. And not saying they have to be mean or judge you on it, right? That's not ideal either. But you want that human connection. You want that emotional connection. You want them to know everything that's happened in your life. They want how the kids did in soccer and hockey last week. But you need to have that connection and that total holistic view, at least for our type of financial planning, the good ones out there, the good guys and gals, to really work. And while you can get some good data sets from AI, and I think it's kind of fun to always run stuff through AI and see what AI says, double checks your thinking, keeps your advisor sharp. But I can tell you that we've had many things already sent to us from AI that were incorrect. I'm actually shocked on how many clients take their tax returns not redacted with their full names, socials, kids' names, and just throw them into AI models. And I'm like, can't do that. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll send us stuff. And we'll even share with the accountants. They're like, oh, great, the AI CPA is back. And we're just like, yeah. So there's a lot happening there. But clearly we're biased. I am not concerned about AI firing me tomorrow.
No.
I think we're good for a while.
I have a main caution about using AI. And then I have a main benefit of using a human planner that I wanted to share. The caution is, if you know a little bit about personal finance, and then you try to use AI to augment that or to help you to make decisions, that's a very dangerous place to be, because it's wrong so many times. So let me contrast that. If I used AI, like some AI system, to walk me through some steps like how to do the backdoor Roth IRA, I'm comfortable doing that. Not that I need it to tell me, because I already know, but that's the point. I already know. But if I walk through it just to see well, how would AI explain this? And then I could be able to pinpoint if there are any errors. But if I were to do the same thing with some sort of medical procedure or some sort of the actual work of doctors and what they do day to day is something I've never done. So I don't even have an example, like how to do a Whipple. Like, I'm not going to that. That's not something that you're not going to ask AI, I hope. But even if I did, I could just look at it and be like, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. I mean, well, AI said that works. And so, but I have so little knowledge base in order to confirm information in that scenario. So if you're someone that has very little information in terms of personal finance, AI is a very dangerous tool because it doesn't know stuff on its own. It just is regurgitating wherever it's pulling from. And you have no way of corroboration, right? Whereas if you're the DIYers that are really knowledgeable, they might be able to use it to kind of amplify or supplement some analysis. And then that can be helpful. So that's the caution. Now, the benefit of using a human advisor is to be able to apply judgments in the right way. I'm not talking about, oh, you spend how much going out to restaurants? You want to buy a car that's $65,000? You could get one for $35,000 and be perfectly fine. Not those things. Things like being able to listen to what is not said. Being able to say the hard thing, but in a way that lands and carves a path to action. Or to know the other person's inclinations because you've gotten to know them and you possess the insight and bravery to give timely advice. You're not going to get that from AI. You will get that from a good, experienced planner. And so to the degree that a person values that sort of collaboration and accountability, like you were mentioning, it's not even a contest.
Beautiful. To me, the other thing is what you said earlier too, on what I would label as almost like overconfidence. Like you type in a prompt, it's going to say something. You're going to see an AI, and you're going to take that as like, no, that sounds right to me, because you don't know every little detail in there. So you're going to be overconfident reading that. But remember, a lot of things in finance and tax, one small misstep creates a very large problem for you. So that mishap on your backdoor Roth because you forgot about the simple IRA or you didn't do the 8606, these all have real life consequences. And the other part about using no accountability is, guess who you can't blame if you did all that wrong? You can't sue Grok. You can't sue ChatGPT. You can't sue Gemini to say, oh, because at the bottom of that financial question you typed in, you're going to be really mad when you read this, but it says, I am not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. But you took it as advice and you messed up. That's your fault. Heck, we have to say the same thing in our blog post. I think we put it at the end of every podcast as well. We're actual financial advisors, but we're speaking in a broad term here. We're not working with you one-on-one. So, from my side about the downsides to AI on a one-on-one personal finance topic is that overconfidence by you not knowing, right? That's probably one of the main reasons why you kicked it in or prompted it in. And if it's wrong, there's no accountability. They're not on the hook. They don't have to meet with you again in a few months. They don't have to take your phone calls and your emails. So yeah, I think AI is exciting. Again, in our practice, I think it's actually making us better financial advisors. A lot of stuff maybe behind the scenes and not directly, one-on-one per se, but there's a lot that comes into that that's very helpful. I mean, heck, from a podcast perspective, it allows us to do great podcasts and even create blog posts very quickly. Clearly, we still have to use our human touch as well on a lot of things, but a lot of good things are in AI. I would not be using it as my personal financial planner. Throw in some questions here or there, sure, but it's not your new financial advisor for many reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good little topic.
And we also forgot to note this at the start, Tyler. We're not going to call this a mini series, but we're going to do 3 shorter topics. This was topic 1. We have 2 more topics coming up where we're going to try to do a little bit shorter episode. We're a podcast that likes to see what's working. So we know some of our longer series or detailed series have done well, but historically we've also seen some of these shorter episodes also do good. In a 15-minute clip, especially for all you busy physicians. So I don't know, any closing notes here on the new financial advisor that you just hired that's labeled as AI for your team?
No new notes. Just so you all know, we are going to change our shirts this time.
We are. Yep. Hey, you know who can't change their shirt?
AI.
AI can't change. I knew you were going to one. Gosh. So 1 up for the humans. We're going to end this episode. We're going to go change our shirts and get ready for the next topic. So, take that, ChatGPT.
Yes, sir. I'll see you soon.
All right, my friend. I'll see you on the next one.
This information is for general purposes only. This information is not intended to be a substitute for specific professional, financial, or tax advice, as individual concerns vary. Please see a financial professional, CPA, and/or an attorney in regards to your own individual situation. Wealth Wheels Advisory Services and Financial Planning offered through Vicus Capital, Inc., a federally registered investment advisor. Olson Consulting, LLC, offering advisory services and financial planning, is a state-registered investment advisor.